right, so what I'm going to do is invoice that sales order. So typically, all right, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add, and it was 510, I believe. All right, so here is our sales order. And I'll use today as the invoice date. Freight is prepaid, so I'm not going to add any freight to the invoice. And everything looks fine. And just the one wine storage build, everything looks good. Price is right. So I'm going to do an auto approve. Now, based on how you have your system configured, when I hit that auto approve, I can set it up so it's streamlined. And as soon as I hit that flag to Y, it'll ask me if I want to print the invoice, and then do I want to print the edit, and then do I want to post the transaction. But I don't have it set up that way in here. So I'm going to save this here, and I'm going to have to go back to the menu to run those steps. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into print invoices and memos. And again, this is what we call our flexible document delivery. So you can set it up at the customer level. I'm going to show you that a little bit later when we look at some of the AR programs. You set it up at the customer level if you want them to have the invoice printed and mailed to them, or if they want to have it emailed to them. So it's going to look at the customer record to see how I want this to go out. And I think in this particular, first thing you want to do is you want to do, let me set these printers, because some of these may be printed out. Okay, so I'm going to build the documents. Reprint, no. My forms are not pre-numbered. Well, actually, my forms are pre-numbered. Okay, and we're just going to work with the one particular order that we've been dealing with today. All right, so here's a PDF of our invoice. And again, it shows you the sold to, the ship terms, their purchase order number. You don't need to show all of this detail on the invoice. You just set it up that way so you could see it in this demonstration. But typically what you would see is just the one line for the item that they purchased. So that's totally configurable on your end. All right, and then I'm going to do direct documents. And that actually sends out the emails and prints the forms if it's supposed to be printed. And then I'm done. All right, so we printed the invoice. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to print the order entry listing. And I'll just do that to a PDF. I want to put in the order number, not the invoice number. So here's the edit listing. And if everything looks fine on that, the next thing you want to do is run the posting program. And what this program does, let me pull it up here. Program does a lot of things behind the scenes. So up until this point, the inventory had been allocated to the sales order, but inventory hadn't been relieved yet. So once you post the sales order, the inventory is relieved. It increases your sales. It decreases your inventory. It increases your cost of sales. And of course, it creates the open item, increases your accounts receivable, and creates the open item on the customer's record that they then pay. So that's the order entry process as far as turning the sales order into an invoice. And again, you can set it up in a more streamlined fashion, or depending on the volume of orders you have, you can do a batch process at the end of the day.